Hello, everybody. It's Emmy. I'm at BurCon still in Burbank, California, which is Salute to Supernatural, in case you're not sure what that means and think I'm just sounding like a burp. But I've been here since Thursday night. I flew in from DC then, and it's been a pretty exciting weekend so far. We've had some great experiences, and just this is my first fan convention, so being here has been very special and really an interesting sort of way of looking at this fandom that I've never experienced before. So I'm really excited to get to share a little bit of that with you tonight. If you weren't around Friday, Kristen and I did a Wine in Winchester special edition in which I mostly flailed about Osric Chow, which I'll do a little bit more of that tonight because he's awesome. But this will probably be pretty brief because I'm supposed to head down to a concert. But for Friday and Saturday updates, here you go. Friday was starting out with Richard Speight Jr., who is the MC for the entire weekend, and he is just as wahaha and debonair as you would expect such a personage to be. He's just completely steals the stage. He's phenomenal. And the first guest that spoke was Osric Chow, and he's someone who I've been following on Twitter for a while and just get a total kick out of pretty much everything he says, and I have just been slightly obsessed with the fact that his Twitter name is Badonkadonky. So when I got to meet him in the autograph line, I told him, I'm like, I'm that weirdo who's been tweeting to you about how much I love your your Twitter handle, or your Twitter name. And he told me the story behind it, which was kind of fun, which I told in the Wine and Winchesters thing. You can watch that if you want to hear it. But I did get his autograph on a headshot, which I hope he feels special because he's the only person who I bought a single headshot to have signed. The others I'm going to do something else with, but he gets framed. Whee! Yeah, so Friday night was the karaoke party, which is the coolest. It was so much fun. It's hosted by Richard Speight Jr. and Matt Cohen, who were doing a theme of class of 2013 this year, and Richard Speight Jr. all year has been wearing the gym teacher outfit that Jensen wore on the show. So like tight red shorts, white shirt, whistle, and all of that. And Matt Cohen was dressed as a cheerleader, so that was super exciting. But they were an absolute blast. They did kind of a random choosing of guests who signed up for karaoke, and then interspersed that with cast members doing their own songs. The highlight for me of that was Mark Pellegrino's rendition of Sweet Transvestite from Transsexual Transylvania from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, because it was spot on, just nailed it. It was like, this is the song he knows so well because he sings it in the shower all the time. That's what it felt like. But he possibly surpassed Tim Curry in how amazing it was. It was really stellar. And he just was killing it. Just killing it. Absolutely. There were a lot of surprise guests, like Samantha Smith and Kim Rhodes showed up. Also, I'm trying to think of who else. Oh, the Ghostfacers, AJ Buckley and Travis Wester. Actually, not AJ Buckley. He did not show up. Sorry, he was here today. It's all running together. But Travis Wester was here, and he was a lot of fun on stage as well. So it was a lot of people doing their thing, and they were really cool when the fans would come up to perform their songs and back them up. Oh, Osric Chow was there again, and he was dressed as Rapunzel, which I'm not sure if you're on Twitter or on Instagram, look up the hashtag BurCon, BURCON, and just look around, you'll find Osric as Rapunzel. He even had a frying pan with him for a large part of the day. But it was a really good night, really, really fun. I didn't get called up, and I was a little sad because I had this whole idea to do with Thriller, and I'm going to not tell you because it could still happen. Who knows? Anyway, today started out fresh with Misha. He was the first panel this morning and joked about, he was like, I know you guys like to sleep in, so I thought I'd get you out of bed, make you do drills. But he's adorable. He's absolutely adorable. I mean, Cass is obviously a really cute character, just, especially now when he's all awkward and human. But Misha is just fun to watch, really entertaining, glib, quirky, goofy, fun. And then after Misha, we had, there was a little break after Misha, I think, and some, I'm trying to remember, a couple of little things like presentations and stuff like that, and I think I went to lunch. But then there was the Ghostfacers panel, which was AJ Buckley and Travis Wester, also Shannon Lucio, and DJ Qualls. So I had a little moment where I was walking from, I was actually about to go to lunch, and I was walking from the convention area back to my hotel room, and I was just like just about to come around the corner, and here comes DJ Qualls with his handler and like Matt Cohen and Rich Spate and all of them, and the Ghostfacers guys too, and they were heading to a meet and greet, and I was very excited, and he said hi to me. I was all like, because I saw him in The New Guy. I've seen him in Legit as well, which is a really funny show that he does with Jim Jeffries. And that's coming back for a second season, I think, soon. So he plays Billy. And so I've just loved DJ Qualls. I was really tickled when he said hello to me. So I had a total little spaz out fangirl moment as soon as I was in my room by myself and could like let the cool guard down, because I was standing there just watching them all go by. I said hi to Matt, because he was like, I thanked him for the karaoke party. He's like, oh, did you have fun? I said, yes, totally. This was amazing. So it's been kind of a weekend like that. Like Ozark's been around interviewing people for videos for creation. People have been around. Chad Lindbergh at karaoke came down off the stage. Oh, I forgot to mention that. His panel on Friday was awesome. He came down off the stage for karaoke and was taking pictures with everybody. And I'd kind of like made eye contact with him and smiled and thought he was just going to keep moving on, but he like kind of circled around and came back to me. Like he put his arm around me. He's like, I was coming back to see you. I was like, oh, hearts. So, anyway, it's been good. It's been really fun. And, the Ghostfacers panel. I was laughing so hard. And if you know me, you know I appreciate a good fart joke as much as anyone, and these guys were making shark jokes and telling little anecdotes throughout this whole panel, and it was just cracking me up. It was making me laugh so hard. AJ Buckley and Travis Wester were just going on after it. DJ Qualls was a lot of fun. Shannon Lucio, I think she was a little hesitant because she played April in an episode, in a kind of Castiel-centric episode. I think she was a little worried about how the fans would receive her, but everyone was, like, happy to see her. No one seemed mean or hateful in any way, which is good. But she kind of loosened up a little bit partway through the panel. After them was, I have to look at my sheet to remember, because there's been a lot today. Oh, after them was Rich Spate and Matt Cohen and Rob Benedict, who... Let's talk about that for a minute. Rob Benedict, he played the prophet Chuck, and he's also known at these events for his band Loud and Swain, who perform at the concert and stuff on Saturday night. And we'd seen on the website that he had been ill. They had talked about him having some health problems, and it seemed serious. Just the tone of it just felt really worrisome. So during the panel today, he was up there and he told the story of what happened. And I guess at BurCon in Toronto, he was finishing up his autographs and started feeling like he couldn't find words and that his mouth was not working and he couldn't get words to come out right. And he went back to his room, and I guess Rich Spate called him and was asking him to come out to dinner with like Jared and Jensen and everybody, and he said he wasn't feeling well. So Rich came to his room and kind of thought like something's not right here, and they took him to the hospital, and it turned out that he had had a stroke, and they were able to get him treatment in time, but he's been recovering from that, and I could tell the moment he started speaking that his speech was definitely different. And this was the second incident of a young person having a stroke that I have heard of in a few months. And so it was a really emotional moment for a lot of the fans, I think, as we were watching, because I think everyone was worried about him. And finding out that it was something serious was something that touched everybody. And also knowing that, I mean, they definitely had a moment where they were saying, like, Rich saved him. He was there in time to, like, be like, no, we got to get you to the hospital, because he wasn't able to process things enough to get there. So, sorry if I'm shivering and shaking. I'm not really nervous. I'm just really cold. But it was a really kind of poignant moment, and I really just, if anyone's watching this, just send your love to Rob Benedict, because we want him to get better. His character might be dead on Supernatural, but he's still very much a part of this fandom, someone that we care about deeply and want to be okay. So, so there was that, and I'll segue poorly into the next, costume competition, yeah. So there was a costume competition after that. There were some really great costumes. Actually, these two girls who I had dinner with my very first night here ended up winning. They had a Leviathan costume where they painted, I posted a couple pictures, but they painted their lips over with Leviathan lips, and then everything was painted down to here, like a giant mouth, and it looked amazing. It looked really, really creepy. So they won, rightfully so, I thought. They won a gift certificate for, I think, $250, which was really cool. After that was Sebastian Roche. Everyone, he's kind of notorious for his panels, because it even says in the program, like, probably not suitable for children, probably should be adults only. And he delivered on that. I got one of the funniest pictures I think I've ever taken. It's a little bit blurry, but he was just like running amok and singing because they'd turned on music. He's like running around the audience and just like grooving and dancing and everything. And he like got up on a chair and started humping the air right by this girl's head. And she had her camera in her hand because she'd been filming, which maybe I shouldn't have said that. She wasn't supposed to. But she was like taking pictures or something, and so she had the camera like turned to her face, so she's got this like this horrible look on her face, like, yeah. It's just the perfect picture. It's on my Twitter if you really want to look it up. I'll probably post it on the blog as well when I have a moment. But it's going to be his panel was just off the wall. He answered maybe 2 questions, and both of those took like 15 minutes to answer because he got really sidetracked. And he just completely did his own thing. And later in the autograph line, just as my seatmate Amanda and I got up to him, he just like got up from the table and was like, I'm done sitting down. I'm going to sign in the line. He like comes up and he's like, hey, is this okay? How are you doing? Like, you enjoying yourself? You having fun? And I'm like, yes. So totally marches to the beat of his own drummer, and that's awesome. Also getting to meet AJ Buckley and Travis Wester, super cool. Big congrats again to Travis Wester on his forthcoming fantasy novel, which I'm right on, man. Very excited. Fantasy too, of all things, for him to write. Oh, good. And then, yeah, after that, well, the autographs were kind of later. This is not very sequential at the moment, but Mark Pellegrino and Mark Shepard. What can you say about those guys, except for they are the cuddliest villains ever to be on television, I think. I just want to hug Mark Shepard, and I am a little afraid of him, so I probably wouldn't. He made fun of me when I came up to get his autograph, because I didn't want to like be rude and ask them to sign something that, like a picture of Jared Jensen and Misha that their faces weren't on, because I was kind of told that was bad form. So I was like, what do I do? So I ran to the business center. I had like this flash of inspiration. I ran to the business center and printed out the title card for season 9 and asked him to sign it. Well, it has this like printout thing on the bottom about like email, mail attachment, blah, blah, blah. And I set it down and he's like, are you going to cut this off? And I was like, I'm going to make a collage. And I really wish that I'd been cheeky enough to just be like, no, I thought I'd leave it and just tack it on the wall with a thumbtack. Isn't that what you do with autographs? Huh? I did not. have the cheek to do that. Nope. I just said, I'm gonna collage it. And then that made my autograph from Mark Pellegrino even more awkward because I felt the need to explain it automatically. I was like, can you do it? It's gonna be a collage. And he was just like, okay. Anyway, so that was kind of that. Tonight, there is a concert with Loud and Swain, which is Rob Benedict's band. He unfortunately will not be there tonight, which is a bummer, and I just hope he gets better soon. And then after that, a little after party deal. And then tomorrow is what many people call the big day, but for me, this whole weekend has been just so special. Meeting Osric for me was so much fun because he seems like such a genuine person, and the fact that he took time in line to tell me a story when I got my autograph from him, he just was just absolutely delightful. And like meeting Jared and Jensen is going to be awesome, but at the same time, it's just like they're people. They're really, really pretty people. They're people who I get to watch on TV every week, but being here this weekend has really just driven home that these are human beings. They're people we admire, they're people we like to watch, and they're just so generous to give up their time to be here for this weekend and to spend time with us and to interact with us and get to know us, and they've all been just overwhelmingly gracious. So it's just been such a special weekend, and tomorrow's going to be amazing, but these last 2 days have been just as amazing. So this ended up not being brief, not even a little bit. Sorry. All right, it's time for me to run back down and go to a concert. So I will see you later, wonderful people, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.